Hello everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. Hope you're all doing well. It is now May and we are done hopefully with the rainy season. I don't know about you, but in Florida it's been crazy. Every day extreme thunder, lightning, rainstorms, there's been tornadoes. It's been utterly ridiculous. But now we're into May. Hopefully all the flowers are blooming wherever you are. So I am revisiting cherry blossoms, which I did last year at some point to varying degrees of success. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this set. I was going for a really light and somewhat ethereal, if that's the right word. Delicate, definitely, portrayal of cherry blossoms, and I'm not sure I really achieved it. I think I tried to do too much. I put down some, what do you call it? Not foils, but micro mylar, and like a pinky green shift. You can see it right here. And I wanted to do a slight marbling in the background, which I think kind of got lost along the way. But my main goal was to do the flowers with alcohol inks. And I think they just came out a little bit too dark. I may have worked it too much, used a little bit too much of the alcohol inks. I could have had a lighter hand, but the technique is what I really want to go over. And that I'm going to play around with it again, maybe with a different subject matter. Maybe just practice using alcohol inks as a whole to get it, watered down and have it a little bit more lighter and airier. Maybe with some other flowers or some other inspiration. I'm not really sure at this point, but we'll get into the alcohol inks when we get there. Right now I'm just taking some colors by Madame Glam. I believe they're Viola and maybe some vintage pink in there. I will list all the information in the description box below. And you'll see the brush I'm using is a little bit frayed. I think it got caught up in the cap and got all distorted, but you can apparently fix it by just letting it sit in boiling hot water. It'll relax the bristles and then coat it with a little bit of gel paint. I have gel polish. I haven't tried it yet, but when I remember and if it works, I will let you know. So I'm just going to finish up the marbling. I'm using my detail liner to just lay in some extra colors. It's funny, I could have used some darker colors for the background and gone a little bit lighter on the foreground. But like I said, it's all an experiment. It's all just play and fun. So I'm going in with my velvet matte top coat now, and I wanted to have a matte background to really have the colors pop. And also when you're using alcohol inks, you need to use a matte background because the porousness of the matte top coat helps soak up the alcohol ink so that when you top coat over it, it doesn't bleed. It may still bleed a little bit, especially if you go overboard with the alcohol inks like I did, but the key is really to float the top coat over the alcohol inks and not drag the brush across the surface of the nail. So I'm going to finish up with top coating the nails, and then I will be back and I will go over my process with the cherry blossoms. And also there's going to be a secondary video that's going to post tomorrow where I did another cherry blossom design using just gel polish, and I actually like how it came out a lot better. So we will get to that tomorrow. So I saw this technique done in another YouTube video, not YouTube, Instagram. And I can't find it since I went looking for it. I thought I saved it, but apparently not. But basically, you're putting in the darker color in the center of the flower, and then you're bleeding it out to create the veining. So that's what I try to do, but like I said, I think I went a little bit too heavy-handed on the color and didn't really use the acetone to bleed out the color well enough. Also, I only have one shade of pink in alcohol inks. I could have used, this is more of like a reddish pink, more of a fuchsia. It would have served me better if I had a lighter shade of pink to work with. But I suppose I could have also maybe diluted the colors. I'm not sure. I'll have to play around with diluting the colors in a little bit more alcohol. Maybe take some vodka. That could be fun. A little bit of vodka for me, a little bit of vodka for the nails. Not really a vodka person. I really prefer gin. But anyway, maybe I could do gin blossoms. Musical reference? No. Anyway, so basically I'm putting the dark color in the center, and then I'm using acetone to bleed it outward and create the petals of the flowers. And then just going back and forth, working with it, adding a little bit more color, taking it away. As you add more and more acetone, basically it's going to bleed like a water droplet, getting onto kind of like ink blotting, where you just put the color down and you let it slowly bleed outwards and fade away. And that looks like the Death Star. Not a Death Star, a TIE Fighter. Any Star Wars fans in there? Did you watch my video for doing Star Wars nails for May the 4th? If you did, drop a Star Wars emoji down below. If you didn't, then I will link it right here in the cards. But this nail actually started turning out a lot better than the first nail, and I was a little bit more lighter with the application of the alcohol inks and just using the acetone a little bit more to fade out the color. But that's basically all it is. It's like if you've ever watercolor painted, it's the same thing. You really want to go light with the color to start out with, because you could always, I was going to say it's easier to add. You can't really take away, but that's not true, because the water really makes the color dissipate and soften the more you add. But if you're not familiar with alcohol inks, I've only used it a few times now. It really is easier to just have a lighter touch and go slowly with the color and add a little bit of at a time. So I'm going to let this play out, and if I feel I need to interject with anything, I will do so. Otherwise, I will turn up the music, and I will catch up at the end. And there you have it. I did do a glossy top coat. I kind of wish I had kept it with the matte top coat. As I said, I'm not really sure how I feel about these, but let me know what you think down in the comments. Give me a like and a subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you always know when new videos are available. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for stopping by.